Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Board YouTube channel. This is our NBA Finals preview ahead of Thursday's Game 1. We still do have a free pick available for that Game 1, but along the way today, we'll hear that free pick from Pips, and then we'll go into a series preview as well, breaking down our thoughts in this series, who we think is going to win, how many games, and perhaps any bets that we can make along the way there as well. But a bit of a time off here from the channel as the season has been winding down, but still, we want to bring you guys some great content here. So drop a like if you are ready to go for the show today, especially if you are tailing the pick, and especially if you've been tailing all season, what has been a very successful season so far here on the Pick and Roll live stream. And also, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you know when content is going up, because we should still have plenty of great stuff on the way for you guys as well in the off season. But let's get into that free pick to start off the show here. It is an SGP available at FanDuel. It's going to be an over on one side, and it's going to be an under on the other side for the points perspective. And we are going to be going to Kyrie Irving in the very famed here return series against the Boston Celtics. We're going to take him 20-plus points, and we're going to pair that with an under, as I mentioned, and this is going to be on Drew Holiday, under 15.5 points. There again, alt line Drew Holiday, 15.5. Kyrie Irving, 20-plus, available on FanDuel. Check on ESPN before the game if you're betting later as well to see if their alt lines are up, but here's what we have for the show. Pips, we go over to you. What are your thoughts for this play here? What do you see matchup-wise?
Yeah, this is a great spot for Kyrie in return. So far in the playoffs against the Thunder, they are there defending him and not allowing him to even get his shots up. And the rest of the playoffs were if he's needed, if they need him to score, if he's highly motivated, he's scoring. I don't think there is a spot for Kyrie Irving that he's more motivated than going to Boston Celtics. We all know what happened there. We all know the last time he was playing there, and we all know the history. Motivation sky high. They are allowing the most to the pick and roll ball handlers. That's how I see the game going for Dallas. Mostly single cover on Kyrie. Some help on Luka, but nothing crazy. That's how I see them playing defense, and this is then a great spot for Kyrie. I would say Dallas, Boston Celtics. He scores the most of his points again above the break three. Boston Celtics in the playoffs allow the most. They allow the most pick and roll ball handlers. That's the way he scores most of his points. So makes sense. And yeah, that's a great matchup for Kyrie Irving, and he'll need to be on a higher end of usage in this series if they want to have a chance to win, because I don't see them leaving wide open role players, and we'll see. On the other part is Porzingis is returning for Celtics, and this line is just, even the 13.5 line is just too high for Drew Holiday. With Porzingis out there, right? His clear rate on this line is just very low, so I'm going with this. And now with Porzingis return, he's like fifth scoring option. Tatum number 1, Brown number 2, Porzingis number 3, Derek White number 4, and Drew Holiday in playoffs having 13.5 and 15.5 alternative line as a fifth scoring option against good defense is a bit too much.
All right, so there you have it. That is the bet for today on the show. No need, it's been a while, but no need to recap here. We'll probably have something recapping the season a little bit later on down the line. But for today, let's get into the NBA Finals preview here. So for starters, we got to talk about just the teams in general, how we think this series is going to go. This one was expected for Boston to be here, absolutely. Perhaps a little bit unexpected for Dallas to be here, but they've earned their way here. They've gone through some difficult teams to get here. And the reward is, well, the Boston Celtics are very favored to win this series. Basically, I haven't seen anything less than minus 200 for the Celtics. I'm not sure if, on openers that got hit up, but I was probably pricing this one in my head right around minus 200 for the Celtics, plus 200 for the Dallas Mavericks. It's gone a little bit ahead of that on both sides. So, yeah, like I said, minus 220 we're seeing for the Boston mostly, plus 180, plus 190 on the side, or not even plus 190, plus 170, plus 180 on the side of the Dallas Mavericks. Pips, any initial thoughts on the series prices here? Do you think this is priced accurately?
Yeah, I'll say like overall, I agree, but I think I'm just checking the lines on the FanDuel just to check something because I was looking at Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, Dallas Mavericks plus 1.5 for series is minus 125 at BetMGM, which is I think Dallas have a fair chance to win, and I think Dallas has a good chance to go to 7 even. Even if they lose in 7, this is a winner. So yeah, that will probably be my bet. I may be doubting Celtics a lot, but yeah, I think this is Kyrie and Doncic late into the games, close games. If Dallas is in the same spot Pacers were with much weaker team, I think Dallas is winning. We saw against the Wolves that no matter how close the games, like close games, Doncic is the best player on the court.
Yeah.
Even I would say in the series against Boston, I probably in the late into the games, like clutch time, I trust Kyrie over anyone on the Celtics. So the best clutch player and the second best clutch player probably for me are both Kyrie and Doncic. And we saw against the Pacers, who are not a great team, especially, I mean, they were down Halliburton and they still kept it close. So I think if this series is close, has close games, most of them will go Dallas side.
Yeah, I can see where you're going this one. I know you're just looking quickly, but anybody who does want to play Dallas on the series spread plus 1.5, you can get it minus 120 at DraftKings of the sports books that we typically use here. That is the best here. If you have Pinnacle, you can get it minus 119 as well, a little bit better over there. But yeah, matchup wise, you mentioned that. Well, obviously you're looking at taking Dallas here on the series spread. You might be doubting Boston a little bit. What do you think Dallas are going to have to throw at the Celtics in this series to find any sort of success? Because they come in as underdogs. They're going to have to do something special here to grab a series win and grab an NBA championship.
Yeah, they are playing the best offensive teams out of like this series is not even close to the series against the Thunder and against the Wolves because in those series you had the clear defensive like scheme, like put bodies on Shea and J Dub, leave poor shooter wide open, put bodies on Towns and Edwards, leave McDaniels and shooters open. They couldn't punish them in most of the games, so they won. Now you can't leave anyone open on the Celtics. If you are gamble with someone, that will be probably Pritchard, probably Jalen Brown. Yeah, I don't think they are leaving wide open Tatum, Brown, Drew Holiday, Porzingis, probably gamble on Horford as well. But there are not many players you can double off, and they need someone to double off on Jason Tatum. It will be very difficult to cover him. So yeah, much more difficult matchup for Dallas on this side. On the like, nothing even close to what they played so far in the playoffs on defensive end. Like it will be tough for them, but I don't think they have many problems on offense.
Yeah, I mean, Luka Doncic, the way he's been playing is going to be a problem no matter what. No matter what you throw against him, Kyrie Irving has been playing well, has that extra bit of kick on offense potentially against the Celtics. I mean, you shouldn't need additional motivation for a series like this, but maybe something is there. And if Derek Jones can continue to kick in points on offense as well, if PJ Washington can continue to play well, if Lively's healthy, they can continue to get good minutes out of him. Dallas have the chances to win this series, and if this series does go to 6 games, which I think is the favorite outcome right now, Boston have to win it in Dallas. That's not going to be an easy feat. Definitely not. So you get in a close series late. Yeah, I agree with you. Who are you going to trust in the big moments in the clutch? you're going to trust Luka Doncic first and foremost, and potentially you're going to trust a guy who's done it in an NBA Finals before, which is Kyrie Irving. So if we get to those clutch situations, there's been question marks about Boston. You might have to favor Dallas there, but I'll concede to Boston. I know it was the Indiana Pacers in the conference finals, but they had 3 extraordinarily good clutch time performances in that one. So maybe showcasing some things going better. Not the best defensive team to showcase that, but I don't think
I'll say,
we should hold it against the Celtics. They've had lesser competition than the
yeah,
Mavericks.
but I didn't like their like late game decision making. They just
Okay.
made very difficult shots, like very difficult shots,
Right.
and it was more of so Pacers fucking it up like multiple times in the last 3 minutes. Very inexperienced team. We can talk about anything about Boston, but they are very experienced team. Jalen Brown 6 times in the conference finals, Tatum 5 times. They, they have all the confidence, playoff confidence, and playoff experience in the world. So yeah, that's there.
Holiday's the
But
champ. Holiday's won it as well recently. So yeah, it's a fun matchup here. The key matchup defensively, speaking from Dallas's perspective, their key defensive matchup, they're gonna have to worry a lot about Jason Tatum. Anthony asked in chat about opinions on Tatum. We'll spin it not just for this game, but for the entire series here. You mentioned that you can't really have one set defensive game plan to play into Celtics. There's so many guys who can hurt you, but obviously Tatum is the key factor on the other end. What sort of matchups do you see the Dallas Mavericks throwing his way to try and just tone him down a little bit?
PJ Washington, like this is all written over him for this series. Like this is a massive series for PJ Washington on defense, but they must bring help. They will need to figure out how to bring help without getting punished. Who is the guy that they will choose to leave open on some spot? They need help. Like no one can stop Jason Tatum 1-on-1. You can just sag off and let him shoot over you, and maybe that's the thing you want to do with Tatum because shots are not falling for him in the playoffs. That could be the strategy. If the shots get falling, you need to bring 2. I think Derrick Jones can hold his own against Jalen Brown. That should be a good matchup for them. And then you can just put Doncic on Jrue Holiday and Kyrie on Derek White, or other way around. That's easy for Dallas to do on defense. So it's only a matter of help bringing to the Jason Tatum. And are you going to play drop coverage against Porzingis and dare him to shoot threes injured and not ready? I think I will start with it. If he starts, I will start with that and just play lively. If he's healthy, play lively more than effort, and just try to protect the rim inside. If the shots are falling for Celtics, you can't do much. On the other side of the court, it's probably Jalen Brown and Luka Doncic, which is surprising for a team that has Jrue Holiday and Derek White. But I can see Jalen Brown on Luka Doncic.
I don't know. Luka has consistently voiced Jrue Holiday as being one of the most difficult defenders in the NBA. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's saying that because he wants Jrue Holiday, feels as though there's an advantage there for himself, a little bit less.
But it's more like if you put Jalen Brown on ball, he's great on ball defender. If you put him off ball, he will fuck it up like multiple times. His off ball awareness is poor, and Jrue Holiday off ball, Derek White off ball can always time the help right away on Luka. So I will actually put Jalen Brown on Luka Doncic and bring help. So if you put Jrue Holiday, then single coverage. If you put Jalen Brown, you have size and you can bring help. Jrue Holiday will be like great in those like gaps and know when to help and to stick. Same with Derek White, weak side defender, great stuff. So I think it's more like not who is going to guard Luka Doncic better 1-on-1, but who is overall for defensive scheme, what's the better solution. So yeah, I think we will see Jalen Brown, but I could be wrong.
And when it comes to Luka, we got to say, there's no stopping Luka Doncic. It's just about making his life as difficult as possible for as long as possible. And I kind of see what you're saying, that could be just the way to do it. Another area potentially of concern for the Boston Celtics here is the size of the Dallas Mavericks in the big positions. Horford is going to have difficulties with this. Porzingis definitely will, but Lively has been very good in the playoffs, very good all season. Gafford has had his moments in the playoffs. Anthony mentioned it in chat, and I kind of agree with it. Just the lob threat on the inside, the size in general on the inside. Do you think there's going to be any difficulties for Porzingis to handle that, and could that be a way for Dallas to find an edge?
I think Porzingis is probably not healthy enough to be switching on Luka. So I think they'll play it safe and put Porzingis in drop coverage. And then in drop coverage, he can for sure defend. He's very, very long. So he should be able to intercept any alley-oops or even take it away and make Luka make buckets over him, which is probably a good idea for if you are Boston Celtics. And then if Luka starts cooking, you can always switch it up. But I think game one is always played safe for most teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see. I don't know what is the health of Porzingis. Usually, I think they are playing switch and help, but won't be surprised with drop coverage because Porzingis is maybe not like he's maybe like at 70-80%. So we don't know.
And look, if we get that drop coverage, that's certainly going to help our Kyrie Irving bet on the SGP.
For sure.
Final thing. Let's talk about the series length. Who you think is going to win? Are you expecting the Boston Celtics to win this series?
I can favor Boston. Maybe
Really?
that's not. Yeah. I mean, overall, probably, but like personal stuff, I will say that I'm cheering for Dallas. Obviously.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm cheering for Dallas as well, man.
Yeah. But yeah, it's difficult. Home court advantage will be huge for Game 7. So, but also Game 7 is Luka Doncic. Game 7, like
if we got to get there first, but yeah.
I take Luka and Kyrie over Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum any day. But the supporting cast is huge for Dallas compared to for Boston Celtics compared to the one on. I don't see Derrick Jones having an offensive contribution in this one. It will be difficult. That spot, like fourth guy and fifth guy, will be huge for and even PJ Washington, who shot start of the Thunder series greatly. Like he was just making every shot. He ended up playoffs so far at 35% from three, even though he made every three against the he had 3 games where he made every bucket. And then everything else he shot under 30%. We don't know which version of PJ Washington we are getting, but for a fact we know that we need to get a great one for Dallas to have a chance. So I trust Luka Doncic and Kyrie more, and trusting Boston Celtics supporting cast way more than Dallas. Like huge edge there for Dallas for the Boston Celtics.
I wonder if Kleba makes an impact on this series. If he can start knocking down some shots, that could be. I mean, if you got somebody hot from three, sometimes that can be the deciding factor in the series.
I think I saw his line at 2.5. If he makes 1 3, he's covering this.
Really, I guess it's health wise right now. It depends how much he's playing.
Yeah.
But he did play in the Game 5 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, so.
Yeah.
The indication on my end is that he's healthy enough to play, and if his line is 2.5, that you have to look into that. I don't know. I feel like he could have an impact here. He's had a good amount of time off. His size, his defense could be something beneficial to the Mavericks here. That being said, I still think the Boston Celtics win this series. I'll probably go Boston in 6. Kind of tough to win Game 6 away, but I kind of got to go for that. I am going to do I wanted to segue this into MVP odds from Showtime. Jason Tatum right now, -120 most places. I see him -103 at Pinnacle. For the Celtics, who are pretty widely at -220 to win this series, I think, honestly, like Tatum is very clearly the favorite to win the Finals MVP award. And on top of that, I also feel that voters are more likely to go his direction after Jaylen Brown won the conference finals MVP. I think there could be a sense of even a little bit of not necessarily voter fatigue, but almost a sense of, Tatum was just as worthy of that conference finals MVP. So if there is some sort of split in the voting, they're going to favor Tatum here. And I think they would have favored Tatum anyway, just to give him his flowers. If the Boston Celtics win this series, a lot of people are going to be looking to do that. look, I get it's a short pool of voters here, so things can swing very quickly. But I've seen some outrageous series from LeBron James losing a finals where, as a loser, he won't win the award. So if the Boston Celtics win this series, I very much struggle to see Jason Tatum not getting a Finals MVP. So
Yeah,
-103 looks really interesting to me. What do you think, Pips?
yeah, I agree. Like, if you think Boston is winning, probably is there getting a way to combine those two? Probably not, but some slight edge should be there as well. Like, if you can combine winning Boston and then Tatum MVP.
Yeah,
On the other side, it's clear as day. It's the Luka or Jason Tatum. Like, no one else can like be there.
well, I won't say the Finals MVP bet is the shoe-in that it's typically made out to be, but I mean, I how many times can you go back and look at a series and think not the best player won the award? So like Iguodala is the only one that comes to mind there. So yeah, for me, Tatum is a really good look at -103. I've kind of got some futures involved in this, so I'm debating taking this. But if I didn't have anything on this series as of yet, riding on the Celtics winning, then I would absolutely be going for the -103 on Tatum, and I still may do anyways as we get closer to the start of the series. Okay, that will pretty much do it here. Final question is total points in this series. I think -180 for Luka honestly looks pretty tempting. If you have a player with the most total points in this series on a consistent basis, Luka is going to get shots up. Like, there could be some games where, Tatum takes a few shots in the fourth quarter potentially. I think Luka all the way. And -180 actually looks pretty good for Luka to be the top scorer in the series. Final word from you, Pips? Yeah.
I think we are looking for a long series. Game 7 probably going on. That's how I see it. We'll see. Can Dallas supporting cast provide anything and help Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who will be playing great in this series? No questions about it. So let's hope for 7 close games and then Dallas winning late with experience and clutch from Luka Doncic and Kyrie. I'll be a great way to like Kyrie with buzzer beating shot in the game 7 will be like.
Imagine. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? By the way, I see a lot of places offering odds for there to be a buzzer beat in this series. None of them are good. I would just ignore those. I want to mention that. All right,
maybe for fun. Maybe for fun.
Yeah. Look, if you got a free bet, you want to just sweat something every game, sure. But yeah, they're like never priced accurately because they know people will bet it anyways. But beware of markets that don't offer a yes and no, as always. And this is one of those situations. But that will do it for NBA Finals preview, and also a little bit of a preview towards Game 1 with the free pick that was given out. Pips is going to be rolling with Drew Holiday under 15.5 points and Kyrie Irving 20+ points for that Game 1. -121 odds at FanDuel for that. Shop around because we've got a few more days until the game is. So if you're watching this later on, shop around before the game begins to make sure you're getting the best price. ESPN, if they open up their alt lines, typically is very competitive on the odds perspective. But that'll do it from us. If you're watching later, comment below who you think is going to win the NBA Finals and in how many games. And also let us know potentially what you guys are going to be betting on. Not really sure about pick and roll shows for the rest of the NBA Finals. To stay up to date by following us on Twitter at TheBoardHQ. Also, you can subscribe to the channel so you're up to date on content as well. You know when content is going to be going up. You know when we're going to be going live. But we will have some NBA Finals watch-alongs on the channel the rest of the way. I'm not sure how many games, but I know that we are very much in line to do Game 1 on Thursday, again, of the NBA Finals. So regardless of the pick and roll show being here or not, we have tons of content the rest of the way. We should have some draft content as well as we get towards that at the end of the month. So keep it locked. Keep it locked with the Board YouTube channel. Subscribe, drop a like, and we will see you again very soon for some more content right here.